Hey everyone, if you have always wondered about social media and what to post, when to post, how to get your followers to actually become buyers, I have John with Rhynes Wholesale here to help us walk through all of that. And if we haven't met, I'm Crystal. I'm the founder of Vintage Booth Pro. We have an amazing community over on Facebook, and Rhynes Wholesale is a sponsor. And I will let John introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks, Crystal. So, yeah, I'm John. I'm one of the managers here at Rhynes. We have been a wholesale supplier for small businesses all over the country for over 60 years. We're a third generation family owned business, and we believe that supporting small businesses is the best way we can impact the world. So, we are here just to talk about social media and how to improve your engagement, how to help that improve your sales and how to be authentic in a world where everything is so digital and edited
Mhm.
and it doesn't really feel like that anymore. So I'm really
Sure.
excited to dive into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And so John posted the question over on Facebook, and these are some of the questions that he got from our community members. So let's jump right into it. So, how do I know what to post when I'm feeling like I've shown everything already?
Yeah, to this point, I think the biggest thing to remember is that you are the most familiar with your content. And in a
Hmm.
world where we are inundated with so many different posts and types of businesses trying to get in our faces, your buyers, your customers probably don't remember as much as you think they do. So you are going to feel like you are just saying the same thing over and over and over again. But repetition is what builds recognition.
Gotcha.
So you think that when you kind of think back to other businesses maybe that you follow or other pages that you follow on Facebook, can you really recall the last thing that they posted? Can you recall 10 things ago what they posted? Probably not.
Yeah.
I know I can't. And the other thing to remember is that only a fraction of your followers are going to see every one of your posts. Typically, it's between 1 to 10%, I think, at the most, but really like just a couple of percentage points of your actual followers are going to
Yeah.
consistently see your posts. So every time you post, you're hitting a new part of your audience. And one thing that we need to really remember is that if you're tired of saying it, your customers are just starting to remember it.
That's a great point.
And really, in a world where maybe there's a lot of other businesses like yours, in the sense
Mhm.
that like you're the small mom and pop shop at the antique mall, you feel like you're one of 100. It's the little things that are going to help you stand out. It's your personality, your little quirks, the way you speak, the specific taste that you have. That's what's going to help you stand out. And the only way to build that recognition over time is by posting consistently.
Yeah. Right, absolutely. I'm excited to get into one of your next points about, and
Mhm.
I don't want to jump ahead, but this would help create schedules and consistency is split one product into five posts. And
Mhm.
that is a brilliant idea. So please tell us more about that.
Yeah, so if you just got a shipment in, if you just had a new find where you're bringing it into your booth, there's more than just one specific type of post that you can use to generate
Hmm.
content with. So if you create a little vignette with that, just to show it in context, give people some inspiration with it. That's one type of post. If you take a quick little 5 to 10 second unboxing or just close up of that piece, that's a whole different type of post. You can also show how it's sourced, give a little history behind it,
Hmm.
which hits a whole different part of your audience. You can also share testimonials of similar products if you don't
Hmm.
have something like that in the past. So you get that kind of validation and social proofing, which we'll talk about more later. You'll social proof your posts and your items to show that there's other people that already like this, but you're still showing the same item. You can create your own little emotional story behind it. So if you have a certain kind of like family story that relates to a certain kind of item that you have, like for me, especially as we're going into the holidays now, one of the big things or traditions we had was I don't know if you were familiar with this, having the pickle ornament. And I've seen those a lot in stores, so I know they're starting to come back a little bit.
Uh-huh,
But
right.
if you brought those in for the holidays, share a little post about
Hmm.
how when you grew up, maybe that's a tradition your family had of
Hmm.
finding the pickle in the tree and
Yeah.
getting a present from that. So there's all these different this whole emotional spectrum that we can hit with one item, but shown in so many different ways.
Yeah. And I think that's a great thing to remember when you're staring at your phone and like, what do I post?
Hmm.
If you plan ahead and when you go to your booth, think of all the different ways that you can create different styles of posts around that. And it has happened before where I've posted similar things. And like on the third try, someone will be like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, I've been telling you this. But it's exactly all what you're saying repetition, and document and use one product for different posts. So,
Mhm. Yeah, and when you're going about your life, your experience, like I said before, your experience, your perspective is what's going to be
mhm,
different. So don't feel like you just have to focus on the items in your booth or in your store.
exactly. Yeah.
Tell your story. Give
Hmm.
just video yourself in your life, how you go about your day to day. You want to document and not just focus on creation about one specific type of thing. Give the broader context. Help yourself stand out by sharing what's unique to you, which is your story.
Yeah. And if you are a private person, that can be difficult to do. Is I'm a very private person, but we have to step outside of our comfort zone sometimes, and I think that something like this would help.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing, when you start feeling like maybe you're running out of inspiration in your own life or in your own
Hmm.
items, work with other people around you. And
Yeah.
especially for booth owners, we're part of this larger community in antique malls and in vintage malls. Really, your main focus is getting people in the door of that whole larger business. If you bring somebody in or help collaborate with another business owner, and you get them in to see some of their products, they're going to be in the building. They're already there in your proximity. They're going to come and see you. So don't think about it as competition and wanting to isolate yourself in this community. You're all there to work together. And by having your own unique perspective and taste, you're going to stand out within that building. But if you collaborate and help connect with each other's audience, you're much more likely to find people and show things that they're interested in and help bring you or bring other business or bring other customers into the overall business.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And our store owners tell us stories like this all the time where somebody's posted something, brought somebody in, and they had no idea that the store was there. So they spent thousands of dollars. And, that's just like, it's a rare success story, but it happens where we're all supporting each other, and collaboration is a great tool.
Well, and I know as far as increasing sales and wanting to, if you have that aspiration to move up within the antique mall and you want a larger space, I know
Mhm.
you have a personal history with that too. Do you want to share maybe a little bit about your own experience?
Oh, sure, absolutely. So I started with an end cap, just a really small. I had a wild hair that I wanted to have a booth, and I ended up getting it. And a couple months, almost a year in, the end cap across from me opened up, and so I grabbed it. And then even a few months later, the store owner was like, I see you're doing really well and, doing a lot online and things like that. So I think it might be time for you to consider this much bigger booth. And so it was a big step, but it's worked out well for me. And so that collaboration with store owners and the front desk team, especially, those guys work so hard. And just having a really good relationship with everyone that works there is because they see everything every day and they know everything. So, and I'm there, maybe an hour a week. So, any way to get more eyes on what is happening in the store and how you can help others is huge. So,
Absolutely. And one other big thing to think about when you're posting content, when you're trying to bring people into the business, you really want to serve. You don't want to just focus on selling. You
mm-hmm.
want to provide value, and that's what's going to generate interest in
Yeah,
your customers. So each post that you make should hit one of three things. It should either inspire, it should teach, or you should connect in some way with your audience.
I love that. Yeah.
The more you just try and sell, audience members today are very smart. They're
Hmm.
very used to being sold to.
Yeah.
So the more authentic you can be in your storytelling, and the more you're just here to share the unique finds and the items that you have collected.
Hmm.
You want to share the history with your customers. You want to keep that history alive, and so you're there just to share the story of the items, to share the history of everything you bring in, and that's how you be authentic. You're not here
Yeah.
just to make a buck. You're here to preserve history.
Absolutely. Yep. Very good point. Okay, so the next question that we got a lot in our community is how often should I post and what's a realistic plan that actually works?
Yes. So when you think I feel like we've already hit on this a little bit, but if you
Hmm.
feel like you're saying something too much, you're just starting to say it.
Yeah.
Volume and repetition is what builds that recognition and that clarity.
Hmm.
So you want to keep it scalable. You want it to be something that you can do consistently, week to week, month to month. So start. If you've never done social media and this is brand new for you, start once a week.
Yeah.
Just this is your goal. You're going to do one post a week. Once that becomes part of your routine, add another day. And
Hmm.
once you build on that, you're just going to keep that momentum up. But it's going to help ingrain that into your day-to-day lifestyle, and it's going to feel less like this culture shock of I have to get 5 posts out this
Exactly.
week or 20 posts out this week.
Right. Hmm.
You want it to fit in with your lifestyle currently, and if all you can do is 1 to 2 posts a week, then that's all you can do, and learn to recognize what works well. You're gonna see what's connecting with your audience the most, and you're still gonna learn a lot from that. But don't set this high, lofty goal for yourself just to fall short and then feel disappointed and discouraged.
Hmm. Yep, absolutely. And sometimes it can feel like a chore, like one more thing on my list that I have to do. So fitting it in, and kind of, you can actually use the tool, whatever social media you're using. They have a tool where you can schedule in advance and, use something like that when you have time. Make it
Yeah,
fit into your lifestyle, like you said.
absolutely. And if your audience starts to recognize patterns in the when you post and how you post, they're going to look out for it more often. So if you
Hmm.
know you get a great response, let's say just for instance Thursday morning, and you're posting every Thursday at 9 a.m. or you go live every Thursday, your audience is going to show up for you. But if it's random, if it's
Yeah.
different day to day or week to week, you're not going to get that same engagement that you're looking for.
Right, absolutely. And I see that in a lot of the YouTubers that I follow. I expect their videos at, Thursday at night, whatever it is.
Mhm.
I look forward to it. And I mean, that's the goal is to have people ready and excited about your content.
Yeah, exactly. And really, one thing that I think has kind of changed over time, social media isn't as social as it used to be
Hmm.
because of AI and the algorithms changing. It's really more of interest media versus social media.
Hmm.
So when you are sharing content that gets higher engagement, that more people are responding to, that's what's going to be spread more. It's not necessarily about you sharing post and only your friends seeing it. The algorithm in Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all of those platforms just reacts to what people respond to the most.
Right.
And one thing we can do to help that integration of social media content in our life is batching your workflow.
Hmm.
So if you take one whole day just to take pictures or videos, and that's all you do that day, and then the next day you edit, get the post ready. Maybe the third day you write all the captions, and then the fourth day you spend scheduling. The Meta Business Suite, if you have a Facebook page and an
Hmm.
Instagram page, has been an incredible tool for us at Rhynes,
Hmm.
in just simplifying and saving time with the scheduling process. So it's about finding what works best for your schedule, and you don't have to feel like you have to do everything all at once.
Right, right. That's a great point. And another thing too is when I'm in my booth, I focused on stocking and getting out. And it's hard to remember to take pictures and
Hmm.
take videos when I'm in the booth. So creating a process where you're, taking pictures while you make price tags or while you're sourcing, like, make it interesting. Tell the story about your life and behind the scenes of your booth.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, if you're only in your booth for an hour a week,
Yeah.
then you have limited time. So just use that time while you're there just to gather the media that you're going to share later. Just
Yeah,
don't,
exactly.
yeah, don't worry about doing everything all at once,
Right.
and really take the time to reflect back on what's working for you. So there's so many great analytical tools with the Meta Business Suite, and if you have just a page or an Instagram account, those platforms already share so many analytics with you. But look at your top performing posts
Yeah.
and just focus on what's working the most and identify what's not working so you can phase that out.
Hmm.
But don't come in with these preconceived notions of what you think is going to be the most interesting or the most attractive to your audience. Really just respond to what is actually being, or what your audience is being receptive with.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to kind of become analytical and learn to look at the data because the
Mhm.
numbers never lie.
Absolutely.
Right. Yep. So we are on to our next question, number three. Okay. What kinds of videos actually make people stop scrolling and buy? That's the key.
Exactly. So when you are creating your content, you really want to focus on just those first 3 seconds, just that
Hmm.
initial reaction. Because when you're scrolling, if you see something that stands out, you're much more likely to stop and really finish it or pay attention. But if the beginning, that first impression of your content just looks like everything else on someone's feed, you're going to get looked over.
Yeah.
So creating this really large first impression, saying something in the audio that stands out or that is really interesting, like saying something is over 100 years old, that catches
Hmm.
my attention.
Yeah.
Giving like an interesting piece of history behind something is really incredible. Or having flashy, I'm a little ADHD where if I see something bright and shiny that gets my attention,
Right.
don't be afraid to just use color, use light, use something
Hmm.
around you just to generate interest in that first couple seconds. And one thing to keep in mind too is that with this authenticity that we're talking about, don't focus on every piece of content that you're sharing or every story you're telling. Don't let it be this highly edited, super perfected story or
Hmm.
video or picture that you want to share.
Hmm.
People want to see the real you, and they're buying from you, not this perfected, idealized version of yourself.
Right. Right.
So people are much more likely to connect with something they feel like is real and not, especially nowadays with AI videos being so prevalent.
Exactly.
People look for something that's real, that's
Hmm.
authentic. So let it be imperfect. Just
Hmm.
embrace those imperfections.
Oh, I like this next point. Teach something fast. So how can we do that?
Yeah, so you're going to have a lot of experience in creating displays, in
Hmm.
creating vignettes, and one thing that you can do is teaching someone how to like how certain pieces fit into maybe an overall look at their house. If you kind of like what we're doing here, we're taking little problems and we're addressing them. We're finding solutions to those
Hmm.
things. So if you educate, inspire, or inform, oh my goodness, what I'm blanking on that third word.
Connect, inspire, teacher, connect.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So if you do one of those three things, you're going to teach someone. They're going to feel like they
Hmm.
gain something valuable, and they're much more likely to continue engaging with it. The platforms nowadays, we need to focus on what platforms we're on to consider the attention span of the audience.
Yeah.
So, like YouTube here, this is obviously a long form video.
Hmm.
People go to YouTube to learn, they go to invest more of their time. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those all of those platforms are more focused on the short attention span videos.
Hmm.
So when you're if you're depending on what platform you're on, let that kind of inform the length of the value that you're sharing. But you still want to provide the value just the same.
Gotcha. And another thing to remember is that you may feel like you don't have anything to teach, but I'm telling you, if you are one or two steps ahead, you can teach that person that is a few steps behind you. So I watch videos, like we all do, but I was watching a lady teach you how to decorate with old books, old vintage books. And I'm like, I know this, but somebody else might not know it. It's just a great reminder. And it goes back to the repetition,
Mm-hmm.
saying things over and over again, and teach somebody something that they may not have already known. And it was a great video. It had a ton of comments, and people were very appreciative. So, what's something you've learned lately that you could teach the next person coming up?
Exactly. And to that point, I don't know about you, but I don't remember 100% of everything that I learn,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't
Yes.
apply it all the time.
Yeah.
So even if I just heard something, if I say it again or if I hear it again, it's that repetition. It builds that confidence, and if it's something you're interested in or your audience is interested in, they're not going to mind hearing about it again.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people talk about re-sharing the same content that they shared maybe a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tweak it slightly. But even if you're just sharing the same picture or the same audio of something, it's that repetition. It's what your audience is interested in, and they're not going to remember that you said it a month ago.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're focused on ourselves and our own lives. So absolutely keep repeating it, no matter no matter how annoying it feels to yourself.
Exactly. And every time you end a piece of content or a video, you want there to be something memorable that if you want someone to take action, you want it to be memorable, you want it to be
Hmm.
clear.
Right.
If you just received a bunch of great new products and you want to share
Hmm.
it with your audience, and you want the action to be come in and see us to check these out, make that clear.
Yeah.
If you want to say that this is a limited time offering, you want to instill that urgency in someone.
Hmm.
And if you want them to comment or to message you or DM you, if that's the action you want to take, make that crystal clear. Again, you know what you're trying to say, but your audience hasn't heard it yet.
Yeah.
So be clear in what you wanted to say, be concise, and be direct.
You had some examples to comment to say available this week. Comment if you want it to be held, or message me to pre-order things like that. That's a great tool. And it's just I still get comments like, "Where are you located?" So use all that information. Make it as clear, as simple as possible.
Yes, absolutely. Oh man, I can't believe we're already on the fourth one.
Okay, last question. Okay. Now, this is probably the best one, so I'm really looking forward to your response here. How can I turn followers into real customers, not just likes and views?
Yes. So I know personally I've struggled in the past with getting or seeking out those vanity metrics.
Hmm.
I want more followers. I want more
Yeah.
attention, more views, but the views and the followers don't necessarily translate into buyers.
Hmm.
So if you only have, 50 followers on your Instagram, or if you only have 100 friends on Facebook, or people following your page, that doesn't mean that those people aren't valuable. If they're the right audience, if they're the right buyers,
Hmm.
then an audience of 100 people can be way more valuable than an audience of 10,000 people.
Absolutely. Yeah. You'll definitely get lost in the mix with that. So finding your right buyer is incredibly important.
Yes. So again, you want to give value. You want to teach somebody something, and then after you have invested in your audience, then you make the ask,
Okay.
and that's how you turn followers into buyers. You're much more likely to feel like you want to give something back to someone when you
Hmm.
feel like they've given to you. Which, to be completely transparent, is part of the reason why we do these videos together, because
Hmm.
I want to
Hmm.
give back to the community.
Yeah.
And when someone thinks about product sourcing, I want them
Hmm.
to associate value with Rhynes.
Right. Hmm.
And this is, to me, this is a long, it's a long game. This is not
Yeah.
something that I'm looking to turn around people and conversions right away. I want to invest in this community. I want to build up these
Hmm.
businesses together. And then once people grow and they expand their business, then Rhynes is going to be more top of mind.
Yeah. And just a shout out there. So two things. You can register with Ryan's. You just have to have the business license, right? And so you can shop online. But even if you're not ready for that, join their email list because their emails are very full of products and information. And so it's good to see, what's coming in and what you can buy. So that's always fun. So I'll link all that in the description below so you can register to shop and register to get on their email list.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so to kind of pivot from that just a
Yeah,
little bit,
sorry.
get back to this. No, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you. So one other thing you can do to give people confidence in what you're sharing, it's called social proof. Sharing testimonials. If you have a Google page and you have reviews, sharing those reviews, anything that you can connect a real life experience with what you're trying to tell someone gives it that little bit of extra weight. So if all you're doing is saying, "Hey, come buy this, come buy this, come buy
Hmm.
this," it's not going to do anything. But if you
Yeah.
say, "Hey, look at how this piece transformed this person's home and
Right. Hmm.
made it feel so much more inviting," you're giving this real life experience this weight to what you carry and this association. So social proofing is just incredibly
It's
important to
huge.
this.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Um,
And let's see. We're almost about to wrap up, but you had a few more points. I don't want to skip ahead.
Yeah. I know we've gone over a lot of information today,
Hmm.
but just to kind of recap a little bit, you don't need to focus on every piece of content you share going viral. You just need to be top of mind to your audience. You need to be
Hmm.
visible. And in a day where there's so many people sharing content, there's so many people sharing tweets or little posts or some part of their life, you just want to stay top of mind.
Yeah.
So repetition builds recognition. That's the
Hmm.
first big thing.
Yeah.
The consistency and authenticity is what builds trust. The videos you share and the content you share is what's going to grab attention. Remember, the first 3 seconds of your video is that hook. That's what's most important. And connection and community is what turns into followers and customers.
Yeah.
So it's not transactional, but you are investing in your audience.
Hmm. And I think I'm going to go back to one of the first things you said. And every time you post, consider inspire, teach, or connect. And I think
Mhm.
those three things are huge to remember. Just, a lot of times I'll do a photo dump and I'm like, what does that do? Like, I know people, maybe my mom will like it, but that's it. But if you go back to those three key things, are you inspiring someone? Are you teaching or connecting? So that's a great point. And all of this is great information. So absolutely thank you for these details. I'm always inspired to start working on my social media again because it's hard to find time. It really is.
Yeah, and again, it shouldn't feel like a chore.
Yes,
So
yeah.
find the things that inspire you, that are fun for you.
Hmm.
And when you're thinking about what kind of voice am I going to have, what am I going to say, it's just whatever you enjoy.
Yeah.
Just it shouldn't feel like this thing that burns you out.
Right, right.
Just let it be fun, let it be light. You're just
Uh-huh.
If you focus on the inspiration part of it and
Hmm.
the value part of your community and your content, then it's never going to feel like it's just draining you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is great information. If anybody has any other questions, please comment below. Be sure to join our group and comment on any of the posts John has made about social media. And we look forward to seeing you over there. But thank you for this great information, John. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Crystal. Looking forward
Anything
to it.
else to wrap up?
Uh, no, I think this is it. I'm really excited to see the transformation that people have with these kinds of
Hmm.
principles. So if something's working for you that you heard about today, share it with us. I would
Hmm.
love to hear how this is
Yeah,
helping your
right.
business.
Yep, use these tools and bottom line, have fun with it because that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
All right, good deal. Thanks so much.
Thank you.